If you're moving to Dallas-Fort Worth with a family, you want what's best. I'm talking the best neighborhoods with the best schools in the best locations. But sometimes what's best and what's affordable don't always get along. So in this video, we're going to show you the top 5 places to live in Dallas-Fort Worth and even show you guys properties that are on the market that you can buy today so you know exactly what to expect. This is the top 5 places to live in Dallas-Fort Worth for families in the 400,000s. So we're going to jump right into it and kind of start off with a top-down view of everything so you can get a lay of the land. We're just going to use Google Maps, so if you guys want to follow along or do your own street view, feel free to do so, but this is a really good way to get a visual on what the area is like as well as the layout of everything. Now, we're actually going to start off with an area in the north DFW, in the north of DFW, that a lot of people don't know about, but is quickly becoming a very desirable spot, especially for people with families. It's got great schools and great safety, and we'll get to that in a second, but the first thing I actually want to point out is the main reason people move to this area, and it's the Alliance area here. So you can see a moniker for Alliance here, but what we call Alliance or Alliance Gateway actually extends really far down the 35 to about this area where 287 and 35 split off. Now, I think the main reason people are moving to Alliance, aside from the job opportunities and the bustling economy, is really the amount of things there are to do. There's a ton of restaurants, a ton of shopping, and the best thing is, since it's such a new area, everything's really nice and well taken care of. It looks really good. So a lot of people have started moving to this area. Now, a little background on Alliance. It actually started off as a logistical hub. You can kind of see over here by Hazlitt, there's a big train yard, and then there's an airport right here. This is actually the Alliance Airport, or the Perot Airport as it's actually called. And there's a bunch of warehouses and things kind of tucked away off of Blue Mound Road. So a lot of logistics comes through here, which means there's a lot of like commerce and money flowing into the area. Now, I don't want that to scare anyone away because there's also some really nice, quiet residential areas. Like if I go to satellite view here, you can see as soon as Google catches up, we've got like all of this neighborhood over here, a ton of stuff a little bit further north. If again, Google will catch up to me. Anyway, satellite view is taking its sweet time here. We're not going to dig into that too much, but there are a ton of really beautiful neighborhoods in this area. And so a lot of people have moved here because it's been very cost effective to get a great neighborhood and a great house without breaking the bank. And that's kind of one of the things that we wanted to point out here, because on top of, the amount of things there are to do, it's just a really pretty place as well. Now, its situation is actually really close to the airport. Like as a crow flies, this is about 15, 16 miles to get to the DFW airport. People underestimate exactly how big Texas is, but really you're looking at about not even a 20-minute drive time from the Alliance area because of this guy right here. I mean, I guess technically you could take the 183 across if you really wanted and go south, but I'd say go up to the 114. The 114 is going to be a magical road in this area because not only is it going to take you straight to the DFW airport in less than 20 minutes, it's also your way of getting to Dallas. So if I zoom out a little bit further, even though I pointed something out on the Fort Worth side of the Metroplex, you can see 114 goes all the way across here through Irving and straight into the heart of Dallas, connects you all the way to the 635 if you want. So it's a great throughway to get to the other side of the Metroplex. And oddly enough, you're going to get a lot of people moving to this area that work in the Dallas part of the Metroplex, especially medical professionals, because if you don't know, right here about where the 287 and 35 split off, the Alliance area actually has a little medical district over here. It's not huge, but they got some decent sized names. I think Texas Methodist is over there and a few others, a bunch of specialists. So a lot of people have started moving to this area, especially if they need to be close to medical personally, or if they work in the medical field. And even if they don't, it's a lot of medical sales move here as well. So you've got a lot of like decent middle upper class people moving to the area, bringing all that money with them, keeping the area looking nice and whatnot. And it shows. Like the neighborhoods here are beautiful. Now we're going to kind of lump Alliance in with like the North Fort Worth area, like Justin, North Lake, because these are all really small, but a lot of people just kind of group them together because they all kind of centralized around this area here. This is where the Tanger outlets are. It's this really big, beautiful outdoor mall. We've got plenty of videos on it if you guys want to go check it out. Texas Motor Speedway. There's a bunch of strip mall shopping and everything around all this development here. But with how many people are moving here with families, these neighborhoods have just exploded, and they've been very family oriented. And a lot of them are geared towards like more of a community feel as well. So you're getting not just pretty houses, but a lot of amenities, and the fact that it's got such great schools in the area. Like it's just been a huge draw. So you've got a lot of starter families and maybe people with a couple kids already moving to this part of DFW. Now, I do want to point something out really quick. Let me open up another web page here. We use niche.com a lot for our references when it comes to schools, because I'm gonna be perfectly honest, I'm not a teacher, I don't have kids. So what we use is a niche to give you guys an idea of like how good the school districts are, and it breaks everything down from like the faculties, the electives, the teacher to student ratios, things like that. The really important metrics when it comes to the schools themselves. And it is it's populated by the people that actually vote on it. So basically like parents and no, I don't think the kids can, or maybe they can, I don't know. But it's basically like a popularity contest for schools. So you're getting like user feedback on each of these schools whenever you go through niche. And obviously it's got like metric stuff as well that it goes off of. But if we go in here, we've got, so that's technically Northwest ISD, I believe. Northwest Independent School District, that's in Justin, yeah. And then there's also Eagle Mountain, Saginaw. Eagle. Now, I want to point these two out because these make up the bulk of the Alliance school districts. Now, I said they have good schools. I need you guys to understand, like, they're really good schools. We're talking like A-rated on niche.com for both of them. And these basically cover the entire Alliance area as well as the Justin North Lake area that I'd mentioned earlier. So just a quick breakdown. Like, it looks like teachers and resources may have slipped a little bit here, but everything else is A-rated. Administration, I don't really know what that entails when it comes to a school. I imagine like PTA meetings and things like that. Again, Eagle Mountain, Saginaw, same deal. Looks like resources kind of struggle on both of those, but I think just because of their remote location and the fact that they're a little bit more rural. I wouldn't say rural, but they're not like inner city, so they don't have like a ton of funding going into it. But it looks like they're doing really good overall. And I've heard great things about these school districts. A lot of people really want to be in them, especially with the fact that like places like Fort Worth ISD, not as great. Most people try and avoid them if they can. So something like this is a really desirable thing for people that are moving to the area, especially if they have kids. If nothing else, it does help property value in most cases to have a better school district for your house. This is the MLS. We'll get to that in a second whenever I show you guys some listings. But last thing I do want to touch on are going to be the like the actual neighborhoods themselves. So actually, you know what? We could just jump over to the MLS. The MLS is the multiple listing system. This is what we use as agents whenever we are looking at listings that are on the market, have been on the market, or going to be on the market, things like that. So this is kind of a back-end view of like what realtors actually get to see. So we're going to go ahead and just zoom in here. We'll take a look at some of the houses and some of the neighborhoods, but I have it currently sorted for everything in the 400,000s. That is basically new homes. So we like to focus on new homes because everyone wants, things that are nice and pretty. But on top of that, new home builders right now have some pretty good incentives, and they're very competitive even in the pre-existing market. So a lot of people have started gearing their searches towards new homes just because of how affordable they are by comparison. A couple of the things I do want to point out here, we've got a few different neighborhoods. Sendera Ranch over here, this one is a huge master plan community. They've got this ridiculous amenity center, several like water features, playgrounds. The location could be a little bit better. It's a little remote, but you can get a really good deal on a decent house here. We could just take a peek here real quick. You can see like the low 400s right here. This is becoming pretty typical for Taylor Morrison. Taylor Morrison's a decent builder. This is becoming pretty typical for the DFW area, where a family-sized house, really anything in the, 1,800 plus, honestly, I would say probably close to 2,100 if you got multiple kids at least, is becoming more and more pertinent. So it's becoming really difficult to find good square footage for an affordable rate in the DFW area. at least new. I mean, if speaking of which, if you guys are looking at any pre-existing homes, I know we're talking a lot about new homes, but if you guys are looking at any pre-existing homes or you just like older homes in general, feel free to give us a call. That's going to be more of a specialized thing, a specialized search, but we can help you guys out because we've actually got customized searches on our website, and we can hook you guys up with something that's going to be more tailored to what you're looking for. Even if you're not, just hit us up. We love to hear from you guys anyway. But taking a look at this listing real quick, let's see how many photos they got. You guys can get a better idea. Taylor Morrison's a smaller builder in the area. I forget who their parent company is, but it's actually a fairly well-known name. But in the DFW area, they go by Taylor Morrison, and they've got a very unique building style. So you can see here they got kind of the like the, I don't even know what you call that, like the pinstripe wood panel front on the house with a little bit of brick facade going on. They got like so in the 400,000 you're not going to get like a ton of extra bells and whistles so to be able to see stuff like this where you still get tray ceilings and sills on your windows and decorative baseboards, stuff like this is really nice to have. It adds like a nice homey touch and a little bit of flair to everything. A 2-inch granite on your what's it called, the double vanity. And I will point this out because I do not like this trend, but builders have started doing it where they'll put like the sinks that sit on the counter where it's got like that lip that goes over the granite. First of all, I don't think it looks very good. It's kind of cheap. And then on top of that, it also makes it really difficult to clean. If you've ever had to clean out that crevice, it's kind of a pain. So whenever they do stuff like this where they cut into the granite and like underset the sink, it's a really nice touch. Super easy to clean, looks really nice, gives you a little bit more counter space as well, usable counter space. Big fan of that. And it comes with hardware. Believe it or not, some houses don't come with hardware. If you're unfamiliar with that, it's an easy way to save a couple grand on your house, but it's kind of a pain if you want hardware. So like you can see, they got stainless throughout the entire kitchen. Nice little backsplash in there, and then nice sized yard. Nothing crazy with the back, but I mean, hey, the only people who's going to see the back of your house are your friends, and your friends love you anyway, right? But yeah, luxury vinyl throughout the house, tile in the bathroom. Nothing crazy, but you're getting a decent house for like what, low mid 400s. And this is in Sendero. I honestly think that's a fairly a typical house for the Sendero Ranch area. So a lot of it's going to be in that range, and you've got some stuff that wow, Jesus. Sorry, that is not what I meant to say. Fluctuates one way or the other. So you can kind of add or take away from there. But let's take a look at some of these because Justin's actually really blowing up right now. The North Lake area as well, and these two neighborhoods in particular, because I'm a huge fan of these neighborhoods. This is 3 of these neighborhoods are by Hillwood, which is a developer that's huge in this area. They've got a ton of like they put a lot of thought and effort into their neighborhoods, so they are always in really good locations. They vet like the builders that go in there, so you're always getting like a really good looking house, and everything looks really similar as well. So you get like not just nice houses, but like a neighborhood vibe where you get some differences, but everything kind of flows together and it works out really well. Now, this one up here is Harvest. We talk about this one a lot. It's a really nice neighborhood, and the reason I want to point this one out is because they're basically in their last phase. They're closing out with these smaller homes here, so they're going to be smaller lot sizes and slightly taller and longer. So you're not getting a ton of side yard, which if you don't like mowing the grass, perfect. Don't worry, you got plenty of room for the kids to run around in this neighborhood, I promise. The amenity center is ridiculous. You're going to want to check it out. But let's take a look at this one. David Weekley is a pretty household name when it comes to builders, especially in the DFW area. And just to give you guys an idea of like what their houses look like here. Yeah, see what I mean? Like not a ton of side yard. I don't know why that's one of the first photos they use. If some people actually do want a yard, and that might scare them off a bit. But let's see if we can get a photo of inside the house, please. There we go. So yeah, you're still getting like luxury vinyl planks, some decorative baseboards, a sill that actually goes all the way across. Picture windows, those are really nice and actually kind of expensive. So I'm surprised that you're getting them. But I mean, like, you know, everything's nice, crisp, clean. You get decorative pantry door over here. Looks really good, underlit in this case. I don't know if all the houses are going to come with it, but a little bit extra flair. Decent sized bedrooms. This one's a 2-story as well. I know some people love them, some people hate them. But yeah. Again, the style right now is very crisp and clean and white and all that jazz. So some people, again, love it or hate it. It's a very easy style to work with. So if you've got personal taste as far as decor goes, it's not going to clash with anything. Heck, even if you like that really, bold Art Deco dark color, you can always just put black hardware on it. It'll look really nice. But yeah, a quick glance at some of the houses here. That's about what you're going to expect in Harvest at the moment. So, because they're about to close out. Across the way, we've got another Hillwood community. This one's Pecan Square now. I think they're waiting on a new phase at the moment. Most of your builders in the 400,000s are going to be like Pulte. So here's a quick look. I think this is their model home. Pulte makes a really good home for like a production builder. I think this is like a wood-like tile. So that's a bit of an upgrade. I know some people kind of feel one way or the other about the LVP. I like it because especially if you got dogs, that stuff's indestructible and you just don't drop any sharp metal objects on it, you'll be fine. But yeah, see, you got the rounded edge on the counter here. I think this granite's a little dated, but like I said, it's their model and this neighborhood's been here a minute. And a little bit of decor here on the pop-up ceiling. I don't know if they offer that as an option, honestly, but it does look nice. I always make the joke of putting the floor on the ceiling. But yeah, so yeah, nothing crazy. Some tray ceilings throughout the bedrooms. I do like the wood-like tile look. It's really nice. Standard shower stalls, pretty standard bedrooms. But all in all, you're getting like, it's a nice house. They've got it decored up at the moment. It looks really good. But I do really like the fact that, at least in this neighborhood, you're getting a lot more fleshed out of a facade. So this is what the facade on this one looks like. You got like stone, the little herringbone here over the garage. The garage door looks really nice. Archways and a little bit of natural cut stone, or I think that's chopped stone is what they call it, for the facade there over the doorway. So really good curb appeal on these right here. And then you got some more of that over here as well. You got Bloomfield, you got Beezer Homes, and a few other builders that I'm sure we'll cover in the rest of this video, but I don't want to get too hung up on this neighborhood because I still got other places to show you guys. So moving along, we're going to take a hop, skip, and a jump actually west over here because, believe it or not, there are some areas in Aledo that you can get into in the 400,000s. And so I want to make a quick honorable mention before we move on. This one's going to be really short. Aledo's nice, and a lot of people want to get into Aledo, especially because of the schools. If you're a football nut, Aledo has one of the best football programs in the Northwest Fort Worth or Northwest Texas area. It really doesn't get much better. Maybe Argyle. But yeah, so if you got a D1 football player growing up in the family, you definitely want them in Aledo, and it can be a little bit difficult in the 400,000s. But that's why I want to point this out, because on top of a great football program, the schools are all A-rated. There's tons of housing availability in Aledo, so it's going to grow, but they're also kind of fighting that. And so if you like that small town feel, they're trying to keep it that way because they know that they got something special, and they're trying to keep, the little cookie cutter neighborhoods from button in. But there are a couple of opportunities here in like the Walsh area. Walsh is a phenomenal neighborhood, great amenities, very involved HOA. They do all sorts of events. I was actually there about a month ago, and they were setting up events for like a cornhole tournament. They've got food trucks, a bunch of water features. They've got a lake and a catch and release pond, things like that. Beautiful area. And then we've got Morningstar over here as well, which also has like a beautiful amenities center area with like a little meeting room, basketball and sport courts. They've got a waterfall. It's not a big one, but it's a really pretty one. As soon as you come in, it's got like Morningstar underneath it and the little moniker and everything. But yeah, let's take a look at a couple of these. So Riverside Home Builders, I actually don't know. Is this in Morningstar? Yeah, it is in Morningstar. Riverside does like some smaller neighborhoods here and there, but I guess they got some builds here going in Morningstar and the mid 400s by the look of it. Nice traditional front. Nothing crazy here. That's not the best photo ever, but you can see they got like tray ceilings. They do put sills under the windows, and believe it or not, that is somewhere where builders will try and cut corners, save a little bit of cost. So to get stuff like that is it's nice, especially in some of the mid-range price points where they try and like, do what they can to save a little money here and there. Yeah, whoever took these photos, that's awful. I don't want you guys to think poorly of Riverside, so let's see if we can find a better photo. That's D.R. Horton. You guys probably know D.R. Horton. We could take a look at this. So D.R. Horton's got some really nice stuff and some really not nice stuff. So this one looks like it's probably pretty mid-range for them. You do get a little bit brick and stone facade here. It looks really nice. No wood on the front of the house if that's not your thing. Nice high baseboards, tumbler-style cabinets. Oh yeah, no, this is really nice. Transom window over the entryway here. So they've got, I do like D.R. Horton's floor plans though. They're very palatable. So some people, if you've been in some number of builders' houses, some of them get very creative with their floor plans, but D.R. Horton, I don't think I've ever seen anything come out of theirs that's like It's not like where you couldn't live in it if you didn't want to. So I'll give them that. They're very smart about their house layouts. Little coffee bar here. I'm a huge fan of that. I'm a giant coffee person, and so I've got like a whole setup that eats up half my counter space. If I had a designated coffee bar, that'd be the way to go. But all in all, you see they got like decent flesh outs throughout the house. That looks like luxury vinyl. No, that's wood-like tile by the looks of it. But yeah, cute little setup. Love the blue decor that and everything that they do. Obviously, you'll put your own stuff in there, but you can see very neutral. It'll work with anything, even something as bold as this almost electric deep blue. A felt chair. That's crazy. Who does that? Anyway, yeah, so good look at what they got going on in there. And then let's actually take a look at the Walsh one because I kind of glanced over it. There's a David Weekley. We already looked at one of theirs. They got Village Homes. Village, we won't talk about them. They're great, but they're having some troubles right now. Highland. Here, wow, you can buy a Highland home for under $500,000 in Walsh. That's insane. So this is one of their model homes, and this is, I believe, their 50-foot product. So in Walsh, you've got different lot sizes, and you'll see this with other neighborhoods as well. 50s, 60s, 70s, whatever. That's just the width of the lot, but it does dictate the size of the house you can put on it. I want to show you guys this because Highland is basically everywhere, but to be able to buy in a neighborhood like this under $500,000, that's unheard of, honestly, for Highland homes. Their stuff is really nice. Their CEO is still very involved in the home design process. She's got her fingers in everything, and honestly in the best way, because it makes it to where she's basically, I think Highland Home has been the top interior decor builder for like X number of years running. Yeah, no, it's beautiful homes, great company. I love working with them. Their sales reps are all very knowledgeable. We've got great relationships with all these builder sales reps as well. But yeah, so you can see they make, I'm trying not to get hung up on this because this is really just supposed to be an honorable mention. But yeah, check out Aledo if you get the chance. But right now I'm going to do this one out of order because we've been on the west side of the Metroplex too long. Let's take a quick jump over here because you can see there's a lot going on the east side of the Metroplex right next to Dallas. And I know a lot of people who are thinking of moving to DFW are thinking about Dallas. There's a lot of stuff going on there, a lot of job opportunities. And the thing is, I think it's getting prohibitively difficult to live close to Dallas. And people are starting to feel that in the drive times. So I want to point this out really quick because these are going to be some great opportunities here. And this is actually what we call the Forney area. You can see right here, the moniker here for Forney. Forney used to be nothing, honestly. It used to be like couple of small family ranch houses, and most of the people living there were honestly either working in Terrell or in Fort Worth in like trucking and stuff like that. But it blew up, especially in 2020 where everyone was moving to DFW. There was a housing shortage and developers were looking at Forney like, yeah, that we're building there. And people snatched it up really quick, but it also was very affordable as well. So now, I will say, just taking a look at everything, it's a bit of a drive to the airport. So if you need to be close to the airport, while that's probably 25, 30 miles by the looks of it, you got to go through Dallas. It's going to kick your butt, I'm going to be honest. But the traffic around Forney, basically non-existent. You can get anywhere and then some really quickly. You can even get into Dallas in less than half an hour, which if you know anything about Dallas traffic, that's crazy. Like I said, getting through it is a little bit different. Now, so Forney was very rural. Let me jump back over here to Google Maps so you can get a better view. Forney used to be, like I said, a bunch of small ranch houses, but it's growing very quickly. If we take a look here, oh my God, Google, come on. Making me look bad. Anyway, while that loads up, so you guys have something to look at, you can see there's a bunch of little neighborhoods snaking through out here. That's what most of these little arterial roads are residential roads. Plenty of houses popping up as well. So a lot of people still moving here, a lot of people building here. And one of the big ones was actually Heartland, which actually broke off to be its own city, but we're going to go ahead and talk about them with Forney because it used to be Forney. Heartland was this master plan community, and you can tell it's pretty big. That was like thousands of homes, and everyone and their mother was moving there if you were moving to the Forney area because it was close to Dallas right off of the 20 here. You could just go straight into downtown, and it was huge, absolutely enormous. You would drive through this big metal archway that had like Heartland across the top of it, and you just see homes as far as the eye can go. And sorry, I've got like a little thing I'm fidgeting with here, but homes as far as the eye can see, it was just absolutely insane. Water features, they got like amenity centers, so the works. And it just got so big that they broke off, became their own legal entity, and now they're Heartland, Texas. We'll take a quick peek at it because they're obviously still building some homes here. We got Chesmar. I actually love Chesmar homes. Now, I want to point them out just because, like, while we're here, actually, before we get too deep into the neighborhood portion of things, I got to talk a little bit about the area because I don't think Forney actually has the best schools. They're not like bad. They're just, I think they're average if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Yeah, see, they're B. Like, it's good. Your kid's going to be able to get into college. It's not going to hurt their chances or anything like that. But see, the thing is, the reason these smaller towns tend to suffer is because they just don't have as much money to throw at the schools themselves. They're good in diversity. You got great college prep. The academics is decent. Clubs and activities are decent. But like I said, the reason they suffer is stuff like this. The teacher to student ratio. You're going to have slightly larger classes for the amount of that teachers that you have in administration. There's not enough people to go around for the amount of people that are moving there. They haven't had the chance to grow with the number of people moving there. One thing I also notice about these smaller school districts like this, they all just have crazy sports programs. I'll never understand that. Food, I mean, nobody likes school food. And then resources and facilities, like I said, it looks like everyone just kind of struggles with that. And I think that's just because you can only fit so many people into so many square feet before you start running out of, resources. So you take it with a grain of salt, but like it's not going to be anything that's going to hurt your kid's chances if you do move to this area. And like I said, when what's best and what's affordable clash, it's not like you're really missing, or I'm sorry, you're not risking anything by going to an adequate school. I know plenty of people who went to Marcus and Flower Mound instead of Flower Mound High School, and they're doing okay. I like to make fun of them because they were a rival school growing up. I was in Flower Mound High School, which was like some 5A thing now. I don't actually know how schools are rated, but it was huge. And then Marcus was like, I don't know if it was actually inferior, but like we always joked about it. So we just had a bit of a rivalry. But anyway, oh yeah, I love this. Bloomfield. We haven't talked about them yet, but taking a look at some of the builders here, like I said, schools or whatever. But one of the cool things about Forney is that's actually very safe because there's nothing out in Forney except residents. So it's going to be just really nice, really quiet. There's like a couple of shops and whatnot along the 20 here, or the 80. Yeah, the 80 here. There are some along the 20 as well, but yeah, here along the 80, there's like some shops, like there's a Walmart and I think a Sam's Club, stuff like that. But for the most part, it's all residential. But I do want to point this out because Devonshire is another master plan community, and Google has left the chat. I would love to show you guys on Google Maps. I apologize. We're going to use the not as fun to use MLS map here real quick. Maybe. Oh no. We're having technical difficulties. Okay, anyway, we could take, oh, there it goes. So you can see here, right next to the Lake Ray Hubbard here, which is a really nice lake, is a recreational lake. You can't actually build on Lake Ray Hubbard, but you can build close to it. I think actually there's parts up here where you can build on it, but like the rest of it is, I believe, restricted because it's Army Corps of Engineers. So it's got like a bunch of green space around it and everything like that. Traffic through here is kind of a pain. But if you're on the bottom side of it, you still get easy access into downtown without having to go across that crazy bridge. And you get to be close to the lake as well. But pointing out, let's see, where the William Ryan, they're cool. But where did that Bloomfield I was looking at go? There's Beezer. We'll take a look at them as well. Beezer is like a decent home builder. They've got some very interesting floor plans. I don't. This looks like one of their more traditional ones because they do have some stuff that's more traditional. But I do like the flair that they put on their house. So you can see they use a ton of different types of materials. You got like different textures and patterns and decorative touches that go onto the curb appeal. This one's a 3-car garage as well. You're looking at right here. You can see the square footage, almost 2,800 square feet. So it's a decent sized house, even for a 2-story. Plenty of backyard space. This is in Devonshire. Kind of got cut off there a minute on a tangent. Devonshire is great because it's got like several different parks. It's got pools, playgrounds, a decent sized amenities center, and it's just a huge neighborhood, really pretty as well. And like I said, being that close to the lake, it's hard to find stuff under $500,000 that close to water. So you can see Beezer Homes, they do like some decorative backsplash items. This is what I'm talking about. Like sometimes you'll save a little bit of money on the house by not putting in hardware, or if you're a person that's got very selective taste, because a lot of builders aren't putting in things like brass hardware. If you want brass or bronze, you're going to have to do that yourself. So if you want to save some money, you can get a builder that just, leaves them blank tumbler cabinets like this, and you can put them in whenever you want. Or my favorite, the people that do like if you look here, some people will put like the two handles, like the handle that has the two inserts on it, and then you got two holes, and maybe you want like the single pull out. You can't really do that without putting a plate on it, and it looks kind of weird. So this gives you options for things like that. But otherwise, some decorative baseboards. Nothing crazy here with the island or anything, but you do get like a fireplace insert. The electric ones are cool because you don't have to worry about cleaning it or like updrafts or anything like that. So you're not losing any efficiency in the home. Looks like this is a gas neighborhood. Little pop up here with the tray ceiling. Archways. If you don't know how hard it is to do a drywall arch, it's not easy. So stuff like this is technically more of a luxurious touch, and it does look really nice as well. Just gives it a little bit more depth and character. But yeah, for all those drywall guys, first of all, you're doing overhead drywall. That is awful. So the fact that the builder's making their guys go through this, they're going the extra mile to be able to put stuff like that in their homes. Decorative banisters look really nice. Yeah. Yeah, no, this floor plan is a little bit more traditional. You see you got like a formal dining, opens up through into the kitchen there. All right, let's see in the bathroom. I think this is the master. A little bit plain, nothing crazy. It's 4 walls and a door. Yeah, herringbone tile throughout the bathroom. That looks really nice. Double vanity. Again, the underset sink. Love that. Yeah, and this one almost frameless shower glass. Almost, I say, because you still got this up here, but it looks really nice either way. It's better than sometimes whenever they'll do that silver frame that goes all the way around. It's kind of a 2000s look, I guess. And this one looks like it's got like a loft area. That's like a theater. Bathroom. I assume these are bedrooms over here. So yeah. Oh yeah, nice size theater area. But yeah, so that's Beezer. Let's see if that Bloomfield, if we can get them up here. Oh, never mind. Let's show Perry, because Bloomfield's everywhere. Perry's everywhere too, but like Perry makes a really nice house. And I'm honestly surprised you can get into a Perry home for that cheap. I don't even want to use the word cheap with Perry. So you get like, you can see painted brick, which is really good for the longevity of the brick. I know some people feel some type of way about it because it was used in a lot of cheap remodels back in the day, but painted brick is actually really good for protecting the house, as long as you do it right. The chopped stone here again, really nice touch. I like to describe, I think Tom used this word, but whenever we describe Perry home, we like to use the term timeless, because it very much is that. It's like, their stuff is just, it's classic, but it's also bold and has like, it's never going to feel out of place, the way they build their homes. Everything's very tall, very grand feeling. They use really good materials. They don't do anything flashy though. That's the thing, is like, there's stuff like, this is very, it's not flashy. It's just very timeless and classic, and it looks nice. It looks great. Like their houses all look great. And this is why I wanted to point them out. It's just like, I think it's a very particular style, but it just fits everything. The nice tall picture windows, and some photos of the community. See, this is what I'm talking about. The nice big amenity center, the pool. And I think they actually have multiple pools. Yeah, see, here's another one. They're just kind of dotted throughout the neighborhood. And these are all renders, but this is like their dog park. That's an actual photo of the volleyball court. So yeah, there's the school there. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in Devonshire. It's really pretty. And like I said, Perry's a phenomenal builder. I'm honestly surprised. So this is $425. That's insane for a 2,000 square foot house. But yeah, so Forney's a really desirable area to go if you're looking to stay close to the Dallas area. And while we're over here, I do want to point out a couple more. I really want to show you guys that, but we'll get to that in a second. So hang around. I got like a sleeper pick here in a minute that we'll get to, but I do need to point out this guy here because I talked about that bridge, and not to downplay Fate. We're going to talk about Fate in Royse City real quick, because this is where everyone who's moving to Dallas, almost everyone ends up landing, and for good reason. So A little bit is Google Maps working? No, of course not. We'll just refresh that. Maybe it'll come to life. Come on, Evanescence, bring me to life. There we go. Hey. All right, so we're going to jump back over to Google Maps because it's a little bit less busy to look at. But you see, we got Dallas down here. And then if you take the 30 all the way up, it takes you to Fate and Royse City. Now, I did mention that bridge. It's kind of a pain to get across if traffic's really bad. They're working on it because there's a second bridge over here, and they're doing a ton of construction to basically double the number of lanes across this bridge. Now, I will say, that's basically the only bad thing I can say about Fate and Royse City, is if you need to get into Dallas, it's going to take a couple extra minutes. The reason I say that it's possibly the only bad thing I can say about Fate and Royse City is they have phenomenal schools. There is a ton of stuff to do. The houses are affordable and nice, and there's a ton of growth going in the area, as well as a bunch of job opportunities on this side of the lake, and the fact that you're right next to the lake. So again, that being next to water thing being really expensive and difficult, these guys figured it out. You let Rockwall take the hit for the expensive stuff. They've got all the fun things to do, and you're like 5 minutes up the road. And then you're immediately where you live in an affordable rate here in one of these, bustling neighborhoods that's popping up. So a little bit, we're going to talk about Rockwall. And the only reason I'm going to talk about Rockwall is because, like I said, all the stuff to do is in Rockwall at the moment. But we'll get to Fate and Royse City in a minute. First of all, Rockwall has a ton of stuff going on. I'm hesitant to press the satellite button again to show you guys just because it was fighting me so much. But oh, thank God, it worked. We've got... Look, you got Target, Home Depot, you got tons of stores. Like, all of this is shopping. So as you come up to 30 here, it's just shopping, restaurants. There's car dealerships tucked away in here and everything. The high school's really good. And all of this stuff just right here off of the highway. So tons of stuff to do. Beautiful area because there's a bunch of money going into the area. And Rockwall's relatively new, like their infrastructure, I mean. And it's right next to the lake. So A+ across the board right there. Now, it is really pricey to live in Rockwall. So what most people end up doing, if you want to be close to that, like I said, you just go a hop, skip, and a jump to Fate right here. And you can already see there's a ton of neighborhoods. And then you get great schools, better safety than Rockwall. And you're saving like $200,000 on your house for basically the same house. That's only like not even 10 minutes up the road at like absolute worst. So if we take a look here, and I'll point it out real quick. This is one of the neighborhoods. Which one is this? Chesmar. I think we looked at them. Actually, no, we didn't. But I'll point them out in a second. So this is Avondale. This one's huge. This is that really big one I was pointing out to you before. And it's still growing out this direction. There's a ton of room out here. You can see all this green space. So they got plenty of room to expand. But at the moment, I want to point out Chesmar because for almost 2,500 square feet, this one's, it looks like they actually went up in price. That's crazy. Just that much demand, I guess. But there's some cheaper options. I do want to point out Chesmar because they're the only builder where I've ever walked onto a job site where they're building the house and been impressed with how neat, tidy, and like straight everything looked. Like, it is a point of pride for them in their company that the house is acceptable at every stage. A lot of times you'll go into a builder's build site and there'll be stuff everywhere. Like, obviously, they got materials, they got people working and whatnot, but it's like maybe there'll be food wrappers and stuff from like snacks from the workers and the contractors. There'll be like stuff laying about. Like, even if there's materials on site with Chesmar, it's like neatly bundled and stacked and set in like a squared off setup. So like, I feel like if you put that level of care and attention into the things that nobody sees, like, it shows in the house itself. And honestly, they make really nice houses. So I'm always a huge fan of their builds. You can see like they've got decorative herringbone and transom windows, ventids, or what are these called? The little vent window up here for the attic. Just little decorative touches throughout. Like, it's not a super colorful facade or anything, but it looks really nice. Oh, I think this is a completely different house. What's going on? Okay, well, their marketing team kind of slipped up on this one, but again, you get the decorative chopped stone, more herringbone and stuff like that. This looks like the entryway, banisters going up, a couple of overhead windows, nice big wooden door and everything. Looks like luxury vinyl plank. These are not great photos. That's unfortunate because they do make a really nice house. Tumbler style cabinets. Let's see if we can find another one. I don't like those photos. Feel like I'm not doing them justice. Okay. Let's see how this one goes. Yeah, again, not like the most colorful facade or anything, but you still get like a nice use of materials, some decorative touches. Nice big front patio. These are like 20-foot ceilings here, overhead windows and everything. Looks like you got your kitchen tucked away over here. But yeah. So again, oh no, Chesmar, why'd you do that to me? I was talking you up like you're the man. So they did the ugly sink thing. Hey, look, if this is your thing, I'm not gonna judge. I've got my preferences, you've got yours, and hey, it's not my house. But you've heard my 2 cents on that. We're not gonna talk bad about them. But they do make a really good house. I would say if you're going with any builder, you can't go wrong with something like that. Especially in an area like Fate. It's a great. Oh, there's another Perry home. Let's see if we can get another builder, though. I've already showed y'all a Perry home. Showed y'all a D.R. Horton, Beezer. I think I showed y'all a Beezer. There's another one. Come on. D.R. Horton. All right, cool. Is there any here in the south? Let's see if we can snag one of you guys. Shattuck homes. All right. Shattuck also has decent build quality, but apparently they don't put any photos of their houses online. That's unfortunate. All right, well, let's just hop over here because I don't think I actually showed you guys. I think it's Rockwall. I don't think Fate has their own ISD. Yeah, it is. Yeah. See, that's just the city. Don't worry about that. So this is Rockwall ISD, which extends into Fate. Royse City has their own ISD as well, and I'll pull them up too because I don't think this is quite as good rated, but it's still decent. Maybe. Oh my God, I cannot type today. So Rockwall's got basically A's across the board. Like I said, there's a ton of money in Rockwall, which means their school districts are really good too, and the schools by extension. I don't know what's going on with resources and facilities, and school food's never good, so not too worried about those, but literally A's across the board otherwise. And then Royse City, like, they're decent. It looks like it's average, but if we look at Royse City itself on a map, that is the wrong map. Come on, Jack. There it is. You can see it's a lot more rural than even Fate. So it hasn't blown up quite as big, but you can see they've already started putting down a ton of neighborhoods because Fate is already starting to grow very quickly, and they realize, like, hey, everyone's moving out this direction. So if we hop back over here, let's see if we can get one more of the builders. History Maker. History Maker, it makes big houses. I'll say that. There is almost no flare with History Maker. So if you need house, they got house. And you can see for like $425, you're getting almost 3,000 square feet here with their Cypress too. Like, it's a nice house. It's very square. Like I said, there's not a lot of extra bells and whistles. They're just here to make sure you get as much house as you can for your money. And like this, I think this is their model. They got it dolled up really nice. Tumbler style cabinets. They did like the two-tone here, it looks like, with the white on blue. Stainless steel LVP throughout the house. They got it dolled up really nice, but you see they got like just the tumbler style baseboards, or like that square baseboards. That's like a 4-inch, which is a little bit more luxury. It's nice. Nice high ceilings, tall windows. Yeah, it's hard to do with the models because they decorate them so much you can't actually see the house, but you get windowsills. Yeah. I don't know what style that cabinet's called, but it's like the flat face cabinet. You do get the undermount sinks, frame shower glass, but it is a glass shower enclosure, separate tub and shower. Little office space there. You get a loft space. This looks like the second floor. Yeah, they got it outfitted like a media room and everything. But yeah, so you can, like I said, you can get a lot of house for your money with History Maker. If that's all you're looking for. Maybe you're one of those dudes like I met this dude. He's got like 6 kids. I don't know how you do that in 2025. That's exhausting. That is way too much strain on the pocketbook for my taste. This is a David Weekly. Come on, give me one more. Bloomfield. All right, I do want to point these guys out because Bloomfield, I think, is like the perfect mid-range builder. You get like, right in the slot. The good bang for your buck. A couple of flair items, plenty of square footage, but you're not really shooting in any particular direction. And I think that's why they do so well. We sell a lot of Bloomfield homes, and they're pretty too. Like, that's the thing, is like they've got some interesting floor plans, and they've got some very traditional floor plans too. So no matter what your taste is, I feel like they casted the widest net. So you can see here, just a quick little look at their floor plan. It's not quite a shotgun style house, but you do get like kitchen and dining area as soon as you walk in. I actually know this floor plan. It's got that interesting little half wall going on there, the dogwood. Yeah, see, you'll get like stuff like this, where you'll get like some more, what do you call it? Not experimental, but different floor plans. Like they'll do some things that are a little bit out there if you do need a little flair. But for the most part, you're getting very, very palatable floor plans, really good finish outs, nothing crazy. You're getting like 3-inch baseboards. Like, it still looks nice, but you're not getting a ton of like flair items with them, but just enough to like offset things. Yeah, so, that looks like flat edge granite, decorative cabinets, glass shower enclosures, really nice size shower actually with a bench. Love that. And that actually looks like a decent sized bench height. You go into a lot of these homes and they'll have like a shower bench, but it's so tall, you can basically kick your feet off of it like a kid. But yeah, big fan of Bloomfield and their products as well. But without getting too hung up on that, I am going to take one more. There's 2 more places that we need to show you guys, but I want to take a quick jump to a different part of the Metroplex here. So hung around Dallas enough. The sleeper build, the one that you got to check out. And I know that some of you guys are going to be like, oh, I don't want to live there. Shut up and just listen to me for a second. I promise. This is a great opportunity here. Midlothian, all right? Hear me out. I promise. This is the most slept on suburb in the DFW area when it comes to affordable, nice houses. And I know it looks a little bit out there because, like I said, drive times in Texas are no joke. But these guys right here change the game. You're right off of 287. If we take a look here, let me jump back over to Google Maps, something a little bit cleaner without all those listings. Midlothian right here. Okay, so just so you know, you see the moniker. I know it's a little far away. Don't let me lose you. 67 goes straight into downtown Dallas, less than half an hour. 287 straight into downtown Fort Worth, less than half an hour. And then what is this? 360 straight up into DFW International Airport. I think this one is just a hair over half an hour. You can be anywhere in the Metroplex that's worth being in less than half an hour, essentially, while staying away from all the traffic, having great schools, nothing but safety, and there's a ton of job opportunities in Midlothian. And I keep telling people this is the place to be, and no one listens to me. I promise. There's a lot of stuff going on here. Right now, not in Midlothian. And I think that's probably the best part, is it's still got that small town feel, but a lot of great amenities, or a lot of great infrastructure, because everything that's going into it is new. There's also a ton of job opportunities. Midlothian's one of the biggest concrete producers, I think, in Texas. So great economy. The housing is cheap just because, like I said, there's not a lot going on in Midlothian, but right next door is Mansfield. And I don't know if you know about Mansfield, but it's got the super studios coming in the future for Tyler Perry. He's opening basically a new Hollywood in the DFW area. We're calling it all sorts of stuff. We got dumb names for it like Ye Hollywood and Yollywood. But basically, like, there's a ton of, I think there's like an NRH2O or a Hawaiian Falls over here. All your shopping is in Mansfield, and it's like less than 10 minutes away. So while you can get into Fort Worth, Dallas, Arlington, wherever in no time flat, you really don't even need to, because your next door neighbor's got all the sugar you need. You just go right over there, knock on the door. So anyway, now, if I haven't already sold you on Midlothian, I did say it's got really good schools. I'm not just going to let you guys take my word for it. Of course, I'm going to prove it. Bam. A-rated schools. Again, I don't know what's going on with resources and facilities. Maybe they're just really strict on that, and it's like that teacher that's like, oh, nobody gets an A in my class. Like, just stop being a jerk, dude. Again, school food. Teachers is a little lacking. Like I said, it's a little bit more rural than some of the other areas. Not bad. It's like I said, it's just a little bit more small town. So you're not going to have as many teachers to students as you might in, say, like, I don't know, Fort Worth ISD. In administration, it looks like it suffered a little bit as well, but all the way, A's, looks great. It's a good school district. A lot of people actually really want to be in Midlothian ISD, and it's growing. There's a lot of money coming in here. They're being smart. There's some places, like I'd mentioned the North Lake earlier, the 407, they waited way too long to start working on that, and there is way too much traffic going through there. Midlothian, they see it coming. They've already started upgrading all their infrastructure before everyone moves there. But they're very much prepping themselves to be the next spot everyone's moving to. All right, First Texas Homes. Let's take a look at this. So this is Westside Preserve. Oh, they don't have any photos. I'd love to show you guys that one. Westside Preserve's really nice. It's they're calling it a master plan community. It's honestly not all that big, I guess. It does have a lot of builders, I'll say that. And maybe there's future phases coming, but at the moment, it's not all that big. We got in there early in like phase 1, but it's got Chesmar, it's got Brightland, it's got Pulte, and I guess it's got First Texas Homes as well. First Texas is kind of like History Maker, where they make a really big house without a bunch of bells and whistles. Pulte, we showed them off earlier. Let's see if I can get a different one. First Texas. So here we go. Oh man, they only got like 9 photos. Come on, guys, you let me down. But anyway, First Texas is like, you're getting, what is this, almost 2,200 square feet for mid 400s. This neighborhood does have a bunch of amenities. They've got an amenity center with a little amphitheater. They've got a lake. It's pretty close to the highway. But yeah, it's like right now, everything's kind of under construction. I think we have some video of it in our Westside Preserve or Mansfield Midlothian video, if you guys want to check that out. But yeah, it's like, damn, they don't have any photos. That's unfortunate. There we go. So I think this is their model, or it's like a rendering or something. But yeah, you can see like it's got kind of that timeless look to it, but there's not like a bunch of extra flair items. You get like the egress windows, tall baseboards, just squared off, nothing crazy. Like it looks really nice, and it's going to work with anything. But these guys like to maximize the amount of house you get for your money. Oh, you do get frameless shower glasses, really nice taste or touch, and then like the split tier vanities here, standing tub. So they've got like some luxury items. This is a different house, it looks like, but it's a good representation of like the stuff that they do. Not a ton of extra filigree, but you're putting your money in the important things. So this is Landsea Homes. Now, I'm not sure which neighborhood this is. We'll take a look here in a second. Landsea Redden Farms, yeah. So they are, I believe, right across from the school as well. So you're getting a house in a neighborhood that's basically across the road from I think it was a high school or a middle school when I went out there. But yeah, Landsea used to be Antares Homes. Antares was a DFW specific builder, from what I understand. And then they ended up selling to Landsea. Landsea's actually kept basically a lot of the same style and everything that Antares was doing. And they basically just changed their name. But suffice to say, they make a decent house. It's another mid-range production builder. This one's a almost 2,400 square foot house for about $485. So about $200 a square foot, 205 almost. This one's got a swing style garage, which I think that's the first one we've seen so far. And honestly, this looks like one of the Bloomfield layouts. We had a client buy one very similar to this. All right, so you get like the rounded edge here on the granite. It looks like this one's a half crescent here. Fridge nook over there. Some decorative cabinets. That's a nice change of pace. And I guess, man, they're making a liar out of me right off the rip. They put bronze hardware in here. I'm like, most builders don't do that. Look at me. But yeah, it looks really nice. They kind of went with like a multi-color here thing. So you got stainless, some brushed bronze or whatever that's called, brushed brass. A little bit of a modern farmhouse look here with the wood and chain. Framed mirrors. Now, I love that I got to show you guys this because a lot of builders won't do this because it's a huge cost-saving thing. They'll save several $100s putting in just a plain flat mirror. And honestly, most people, they don't even know. They don't even look at it. They don't even think anything of it until they see a mirror that's been framed. And then it makes your whole bathroom pop. Even if you're not doing this with the builder, this is a great design tip, is to just frame your mirrors. You can take any old picture frame and then get a mirror cut to it, it's really gonna change the feel of the room. But yeah, you're getting the, I think these are acrylic countertops, so they saved a little bit of money there. But like, hey, it looks really nice. You couldn't tell. It's just everything flows. I do think this is really smart. If you're gonna do the framed shower glass, the chrome look is a little bit out. The black frame, at least it looks almost decorative. If you're, or like not almost decorative, it looks more decorative than like the chrome. So if you got a framed shower glass, like that definitely offsets everything, because I know the whole frameless can be really expensive. Nice arched walkways here. This is luxury vinyl throughout the whole house. Some decorative baseboards, some decorative doors. It's not like that 2000s insert you see a lot of times. Tray ceilings. That's an 8-foot door. Those are expensive. That's at least $1,000. French doors here on the office space. It looks like at the front of the house. Transom window in the bedroom back there. Yeah, so like this is why I like Landsea homes as well. Is like it's kind of like Bloomfield, where you're getting some like you could see where they save some money in the build, but you're still getting like some good decorative items, some things that are gonna stand out while maximizing your actual house value there. So I always advocate for Midlothian because if nothing else, the location, you can't beat it. The schools and safety, phenomenal. The economy is great, and there's a plenty of houses. Like they're building all sorts of stuff down here. So hopefully I didn't scare you guys off by showing you how far down on the Metroplex it is, but I promise it's not as bad as it looks. I've driven out to Midlothian several times. Like I live on the other side of Fort Worth up here by Saginaw. It's like a 45-minute drive, and honestly 15 of that drive is just getting through downtown Fort Worth. So here, now I want to show you guys the one that I feel like most people are probably, especially if you're looking at Frisco area, you got to check this one out, because first of all, you can't, I'm gonna be perfectly honest, you can't get into Frisco for in the 400,000s unless you know a guy. We could be that guy though. We got you. Go ahead, give us a call. That whole jazz, call to action. But I want to point this out because a lot of people are moving not just to Frisco, but also McKinney. McKinney is a huge economic powerhouse. They've got their own airport and everything. And a lot of people are trying to be close to it, but that is really difficult to do in the under 100,000 or under $500,000. So a lot of people have started moving out here to Anna and Melissa. Now, these have become really popular. We actually have a video on both of these if you want to go check them out. But you can see the $400,000 ring that just kind of goes around the Frisco area that doesn't quite touch it, and it can be really difficult. There's a lot up here in Salina, and we got videos and stuff on them, but I feel like Anna, you could see that number is a lot lower in the 400,000s, whereas this is like barely 400,000. There's a lot more going on here, and Anna has a very strong sports program. A lot of people, like if you've, especially baseball, they've got a huge DBAT facility up here. It's got like a soccer field, and I think it also doubles as like a tennis court. They've also got like indoor batting cages and a ton of fields, ton of football fields. So it's just got huge sports complexes throughout Anna, and their schools are actually really good too. So let me see. I think Anna has their own ISD. Anna Independent School District, yeah. So now, I know this shows a B. Don't let that scare you, because this is a really small town, and you can see like the things that are going to suffer are the actual like the money dependent things. Yeah, their sports are a lot better than the rest of their ratings. Man, this is actually making it look really bad. But I've been to their schools, and it's really nice. Like they have a better stadium, a better football stadium than like some like colleges from like just whenever I drop by their high school, which is weird because it's like one of the only things out in Anna is basically the sports complexes. So I'm not sure where this rating's coming from, but hey, maybe the coach sucks. I don't know. But yeah, if you want them to be well outfitted, this is definitely the place to go while saving a ton of money on your house. And Melissa as well. So Melissa gets you a little bit closer to the Metroplex, but you can see there's fewer houses in the 400,000s range. I do want to point something out though, because oddly enough, one of your, there's a lot of shopping and stuff over here. Yeah, you can see. So this is most of your shopping and restaurants and things like that are going to be off of the 121 and McKinney Street, where this branch is off. There's actually a Buc-ee's down here, and if you don't know what a Buc-ee's is, it's a gas station, but that'd be an insult to call it a gas station. It's like this. It's basically a supermarket and a gas station had a baby with really good bathrooms. But yeah, you can see there's a ton of residential development going on in Melissa, and it's extending all the way up into Anna here. Yeah, it's blowing up in this area. So for the people that are trying to save money and are okay with a little bit more drive into town, or if you're just working here in McKinney, where it's like a 20-minute drive into town, yeah, this is definitely the place to be. And it's all residential, so it's super safe. You saw the Anna school district wasn't great. Let's see if Melissa has her own school district. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. Okay, Melissa has really good schools. Anna could be doing a little bit better. I don't want to lie to you guys or anything. So apparently, according to this rating, Anna could be doing a little bit better, but her sister Melissa is crushing it. A's across the board. Hey, she even has the best resources and facilities rating out of all of them. But yeah, so for most of the people, they're going to end up in the 400 that are going to end up in the 400,000s. They're probably going to start looking at Anna because there's a lot more affordability down here. There are some master plan communities out here where you're going to get a little bit more in the way of amenities, but considering its remote location, a lot of them just have like pocket parks or maybe like a pool, something like that. Most of the people are going to be moving out here, frankly, to be, in a more cost-effective house. You're going to be able to get, like I said, Brightland. I'm glad I get to show them off. I don't think I got a chance to show you guys this earlier. Brightland's another really good middle of the road, kind of like Bloomfield, where they're hitting all the right wickets, casting that wide net. But yeah, it's like they got painted brick. It looks like you get a little bit of chopstone, some decorative touches throughout the front of the house. So you still get good, decent curb appeal. They went with the light on dark here in the kitchen. That's like a 3-inch baseboard, 7-foot doors. Looks like they saved a little bit of money there on the hardware, but you do get like these curved transom windows up here. I think the only downside of like these decorative windows is if you want to put up blinds, you either have to get something custom made or you got to deal with light coming in. Like my sister had that in her room whenever we were growing up. Like it was like 3 windows. The big one was in the middle, and then above that window was like one of those archway windows. It was like a half circle or whatever. And she thought it was so cool. So whenever we moved into that house, she's like, "Oh, I want that to be my bedroom." And then she had no way of keeping the sun out. So every morning she was waking up at the crack of dawn. I know they got those little fan paper ones that you put in there, and I think she did end up getting something like that put in there. But yeah, if you just want like, what's it called? Blinds on all of them, that one's going to be kind of a pain. So you do get like some tray windows here in the entry hallway. This is where your dining room would be. That'd be your living room here. Luxury vinyl. It looks like some mid-brown wood. Nothing crazy. No fireplace or anything, so less maintenance. It's not going to dictate where you put your TV. And this looks like it's a master bedroom. It's not the best shot of it. I assume the entryway's over here on this corner. And then double doors into the master bedroom. Oh, nice. Big windows, transoms over top. I assume that's a closet. And then you get like a corner bathtub. I'm honestly not a huge fan of that bathtub setup. But again, acrylic countertops. These are the builder-grade mirrors. Like I said, you wouldn't be able to tell if I didn't point it out to you. Like, they look fine, but you go ahead, throw a frame mirror on there. It's a really nice touch. Obviously, this is his vanity. The other one's hers. But yeah, so you're still getting a lot of really good materials, good craftsmanship. I'll note because there are some builders out there where I'll be honest, most people won't notice whenever a builder does something that they shouldn't, or they do so poorly. But you look at 100 or so of these new homes and you start to notice like, that wall's not as straight as it should be. Or, something's off. These small little craftsman things. And I will say, I haven't had that with Brightland. So while there's not a ton of extra flair or anything in their stuff, you do get plenty of good materials, some decorative items like the baseboards and everything. And I think the most important thing is so far they've got a really good track record with their build quality. Oh, man. But yeah, a little covered patio, decent sized yard. And so, yeah, if you're landing in the Anna Ranch area up there in Collin County, this is about what you can expect. So here, and I think the biggest thing, here's a William Ryan. I don't think we pointed them out earlier. Of course, they don't have any photos. Screw you guys. Why did you do that to me? I'm trying to show you guys off. I don't want to go too far north because I know a lot of people don't want to get too far away from the city. We already saw Bloomfield. Stone Hollow Homes. Let's see if you got any photos. Nope, of course not. All right. Well, I'm trying to show you guys something, but these guys are making it difficult for me. Maybe? No, of course not. All right. Well, I wanted to show you all some more homes in Anna, but let's take a look at Melissa, see if there's anything popping up over here. Because here's one in Grenadier Investments. I think that's like a one-off builder. I don't know if I really want to... screw it. So they got townhomes in Melissa, apparently. That's crazy. These are cute, though. I'll be honest, I've never worked with this builder. This is the first time I've seen their stuff, so we're going to learn together. I do like this. I'm a big fan of like I know you can see through it, but like for a front yard fence, this is cute. And they give you a little pergola and everything. So a lot of people are actually looking at townhomes, especially like people who travel a lot and want their house maintained, traveling nurses, older people as well, who may not want to put in like yard work. Townhomes are great because the insurance is going to cover a lot of the maintenance on the outside of the house, or all of it in some cases. And a lot of times HOAs actually have groundskeeping contracts to where they'll also take care of the front yard. So you don't need to worry about a bunch of stuff like that. But yeah, you get covered patio over here. Nice. That's an 8-foot door, sliding glass on your side door here. They took that all the way to the ceiling. That's nice. Flat front on the cabinetry over here. They did the dark on light, herringbone in the back. Little transom windows up there. Yeah, 2-inch granite. It's a really nice touch. Some of these guys will do some really thin stuff. Like it is a little thinner here. That's like 1 inch probably in the bathroom. Helps them save money. Oh, I like that. They did the herringbone 2x1 tiles. Yeah, okay. That's not bad. I mean, for a $400,000 townhome, you're getting 1,800 square feet. Okay, that's a little close to what I would call a family-sized home. I'll give you that. It is 3 beds, but you get kids in 1,800 square feet, and it starts to get a little cramped. But yeah, hey, if you're trying to, if you're down with the townhome, that's the way to go. Honestly, looks pretty good. I'm not going to complain about that. But yeah, so that's that. If you're looking to stay in the McKinney area, you don't want to go out to like Princeton or something like way over here, or if you want to be closer to Frisco, it's not a bad gig at all. But yeah, these are probably going to be the best areas if you're going to want to land in the DFW area and stay in the 400,000s, because like I said, money gets tight when you have kids, and these are probably some of the best areas to, like, as far as cost for your living situation. You're going to have good schools. You're going to be relatively close to everything that you need. You're going to have really good safety, which with kids, that's pertinent. That's paramount right there. Education and safety are, in a lot of cases, non-negotiables for people. So we want to make sure that y'all have access to, like, begin your search with all of this stuff. And if you are looking to dig into these a little bit more, you want to learn more about these neighborhoods and these areas, we actually have videos and, in some cases, playlists on all of these suburbs and some of these neighborhoods as well, so you can really get into the nitty-gritty of everything that you saw here today. And if you are just starting your search, you're going to want to check out this video so you can avoid the top 10 things that can screw you when buying a home in Dallas-Fort Worth. But otherwise, remember, whether you're looking to buy or sell, keep calm and call Tom.